It was our anniversary, the day I had been counting down to with a kind of childlike anticipation. Every year, we treated that date as something sacred, an opportunity to surprise each other, to show in some special way that our love was still alive and strong. This year, however, was not like the others. My wife wasn't home. She had gone to her father's house to take care of him. I told myself I understood. Family comes first. But beneath that understanding was an ache, a restless need to be near her on the day that mattered most to us. That feeling became so overwhelming that I decided to turn the situation into something meaningful. If she couldn't come home, then I would bring our anniversary to her. I pictured her face lighting up as I arrived unexpectedly at her father's doorstep, a bouquet of fresh flowers in my hand, ready to make her smile. I planned every detail in my mind, believing that it would be one of those moments we would both remember for years. I had no way of knowing that instead of joy, I was walking into the darkest moment of my marriage. When I pulled up to her father's house, hope filled me. My heart beat faster, not with nerves but with excitement. I imagined the warmth of her embrace, the way her laughter would ease the time we had spent apart. But the moment I stepped inside, all of that expectation began to unravel. The silence in the house was unsettling, heavy in a way that made the air feel thick. It wasn't the calm silence of home at rest. It was the kind of silence that warned of something hidden, something wrong. I moved forward, each step echoing in the quiet, until I reached the living room. What I saw there stopped me cold. My wife wasn't sitting with her father, as I had imagined. Instead, another man was with her. He was too close, standing in a way that made it clear he belonged there, that he had been there for a long while. He wasn't family. I knew that instantly. My stomach dropped, my body frozen between disbelief and anger. My first instinct was to demand an explanation, but I couldn't move. My heart was racing, my throat dry, and my mind spinning with questions I didn't want answers to. Who was he? Why was he here? Why did he look so comfortable in the presence of the woman I loved? Then he smiled, a smile that carried too much familiarity, too much intimacy. My wife turned and saw me standing there. The shock on her face told me everything. Her skin drained of color. Her voice cracked as she tried to say something, but it didn't matter. The truth had already spoken louder than her words ever could. The man quickly stepped away, his eyes avoiding mine, as if he already knew what I had pieced together in an instant. My wife's eyes filled with guilt, and even before she opened her mouth, I understood. She tried to apologize, fumbling for explanations, but none of it could touch the weight of what I had just witnessed. Trust, once broken, can never return in its original form. And at that moment, the woman I thought I knew became someone else entirely. I didn't explode in anger, not right away. I pulled back and began looking for answers on my own. Later, I went through her messages, her calls, her pictures, not because I wanted to punish her, but because I needed the truth she hadn't given me. What I found confirmed my worst fears. Their relationship hadn't started yesterday. It had been going on for months, woven into the fabric of our everyday life. While I had been planning surprises, working, and dreaming of our future, she had been building a secret life with someone else. That night, I confronted her. She cried, her words breaking apart as she tried to explain. She admitted that she had fallen out of love with me, that this man gave her something she felt I no longer did. Hearing that from the person I had built my life around cut deeper than I thought words could. It wasn't only the betrayal. It was realizing that everything we had built had been held up by lies, and those lies had already eaten away at the foundation. The days that followed were filled with arguments, apologies, and endless pain. I searched for reasons, but no explanation could undo what had happened. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see her the same way anymore. The trust was gone, replaced by a constant ache and the haunting replay of that moment in the living room. Eventually, I understood that staying would only trap me in that pain. Rebuilding required a kind of faith I no longer had, so I chose the only path left to me. I walked away. Leaving wasn't easy. It felt like tearing a part of myself out. But I knew that what remained of our love could never heal the wounds she had left. With every step away from that house, I carried questions, memories, and heartbreak. Time, though, became the healer I didn't know I needed. Slowly, I learned to trust again, not just in others, but in myself. I realized that betrayal, as crushing as it is, doesn't define me. It shapes me, teaches me resilience, and makes me stronger. Months later, she reached out, her voice filled with regret. But by then I had moved past her words. Apologies can't undo betrayal. They can only acknowledge it. What I took from the entire ordeal is that love, no matter how strong it feels, is fragile. It can break under the weight of dishonesty. Yet even in its breaking, there is a chance for renewal, because betrayal may leave scars, but also gives you the strength to rise above what tried to destroy you. Would you like me to expand this into more of a novel-like style with dialogues and inner thoughts, or keep it as a narrative reflection like this?